In the Anthropocene, Asia has emerged with a significant role. China, in particular, played a pivotal role in the genesis of the Anthropocene during the 18th century. Its utilization of coal, extensive agricultural cultivation, and high population density contributed to the shaping of this new epoch. Contrary to the perception of Asia as a stagnant region awaiting Western modernization, many Asian countries were already economically prosperous before the arrival of European powers. These nations had established their own thriving economies and were not solely reliant on Western influence. Recognizing the need to catch up and compete with the West, several Asian countries actively pursued industrialization in the early 20th century. This drive for modernization led to Asia adopting certain Western practices and technologies, gradually transforming the region to resemble the West in various aspects. China, with its immense scale and population, faces environmental challenges that often extend beyond its borders, making them global concerns. The environmental problems in China, in terms of their magnitude, have the potential to impact the entire planet. A significant shift in the global climate policy landscape is occurring. As carbon emissions in many Western developed countries have reached their peak, the decisions made by the large and rapidly growing Asian economies, particularly China and India, will shape the future of climate policy. Europeans and Americans find themselves in a position of bystanders, as the actions of these Asian economies will determine the trajectory of climate initiatives. Asia's commitment to reducing carbon dioxide emissions alone can make a substantial impact, lowering the projected global temperature increase by 0.2 to 0.3 degrees Celsius. However, the United States faces challenges due to its unwavering commitment to the American way of life, public skepticism towards climate change, and the influence of the fossil fuel industry on the government. These factors hinder America's ability to make credible commitments and take effective action against climate change. China, on the other hand, is often seen as the last best hope in the global efforts to mitigate climate change. However, it is important to recognize that a top-down centrally planned approach, while effective in some aspects, can also have unintended consequences. The pursuit of increased control and coercion can lead to unforeseen outcomes and ramifications. Asia's role in the Anthropocene is significant, with China's historical impact and the current influence of large Asian economies shaping the global climate policy landscape. However, challenges exist in both the Western and Asian contexts, requiring careful consideration and action to address climate change effectively. China and India have set ambitious targets to achieve net zero emissions within a timeframe of 40 to 50 years. To reach these goals, China would need to construct 4 times the current global solar capacity of 770 gigawatts, GW, and 3 times the world's existing wind power capacity of 743 gigawatts. Despite the net zero pledges made by several major Asian economies, there still exists a significant gap in meeting the Paris Agreement's objective of limiting global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius. This shortfall highlights the need for further action and collaboration to tackle climate change effectively. One notable challenge in Asian countries is the lack of substantial popular pressure urging governments to take decisive action or do more to reduce emissions. Climate change is not perceived as a significant political issue in many Asian democratic nations, which can hinder the adoption of comprehensive climate policies. Resistance to change in Asian societies often stems from vested interests at various levels. These interests may include powerful industries, influential individuals, or economic sectors that perceive climate action as detrimental to their financial or political advantage. Overcoming this resistance requires addressing these vested interests and fostering a broader understanding of the long-term benefits of transitioning to a low-carbon economy. It is crucial for poorer countries in Asia to receive support from wealthier nations, both in the West and within Asia itself, to effectively reduce emissions. Financial assistance, technology transfer, and capacity-building initiatives are essential for these nations to transition to cleaner energy sources and implement sustainable practices. In summary, while China and India have set ambitious targets to achieve net zero emissions, significant challenges remain. These encompass the need to scale up renewable energy capacities, address the political apathy towards climate change, overcome resistance from vested interests, and provide support to developing countries in their emission reduction efforts. Collaboration and concerted efforts from both within Asia and globally are vital to successfully combat climate change in the region.